fail, never get to try again. The fall breaks them. And some are given a chance to climb, but they refuse. Only the ladder is real. The climb.
Welcome to the throne room. This is Littlefinger Chaos's My Ladder Looking Back series. As we look back in a more eventful time of the Game of Thrones archives in the world of Westeros, Harrenhal awarded to Petyr Baelish by King Joffrey Baratheon, which is a cursed
I've hoped to meet you for some time, Lord Stark. No doubt Lady Catelyn has mentioned me.
She has, Lord Baelish.
Littlefinger was a pimp and a hustler who made it to the castle of the most powerful family in Westeros, a boy from the Fingers who created his own sigil and a self-made man, not of royal blood. Baelish has always been a man out for his own ambitions and his own self-interest without love, and being alone out for one goal to have it all means you sacrifice the need of a wife or a family, and this means all of his time is spent on weaving together chaos between the houses. Who would think Baelish is the cause of it?
Perhaps you chose the wrong man to duel with.
Well, it wasn't the man that I chose, my lord. It was Catelyn Tully. A woman worth fighting for, I'm sure you'll agree.
When you find yourself in bed with an ugly woman, best close your eyes, get it over with. Cut her throat.
And he was also married secretly to Liz at the time. We all know how that ended. Littlefinger has always been our favorite villain, using his strategy and charisma and intelligence to become useful to the most powerful family in Westeros and hold valuable information secret to most. Using his brothel and other spies he employs. Knowledge is just that. Without the power you can pay a man, but in the end the man with the most golden fear wins. It doesn't matter whether or not now Joffrey is king. Ned should have left King's Landing entrusting Littlefinger, a man with a scar from navel to collarbone, and now you're his best friend. Okay, we need to talk about the slow minds, quick tempers. Trust the man you know, not the strangers you don't. It doesn't matter what we want, once we get it, we want something else.
King, not Tywin Lannister. What you suggest is treason.
Only if we lose.
Make peace with the Lannisters, you say.
I did warn you not to trust me.
I am a knight. I shall die a knight.
A naked knight, apparently.
The Mockingbird. You created your own sigil, didn't you?
Yes.
Appropriate. Self-made man with so many songs to sing.
I'm glad you like it. Some people are fortunate enough to be born into the right family. Others have to find their own way. Sometimes I've heard even brothers and sisters develop certain affections. And when those affections become common knowledge, well, that is an awkward situation. Indeed, especially in a prominent family. Prominent families often forget a simple truth.
Let's discuss the psychology of a person like Littlefinger. He of course is an antagonist of the story of Game of Thrones and has a Machiavellianism personality. Let's discuss it here. Someone with the trait of Machiavellianism will tend to have many of the following tendencies. Littlefinger was a master of understanding what other people wanted, but truly he was only focused on their own ambition and interests. He spent his life climbing the ladder and had a useful talent of playing the game of faces for anyone he entertained. He was a master of deception, and from a house who had the faceless man's education, close proximity, so hot to say what he really knows. He was teaching Sansa just like Arya was taught. It just had a Devastating
Aaron and I have
result
known
in
each
the
other
end.
since we were children. She
Prioritize
has
money and
always
power
been
over relationships. Petyr is a
positively
older man owning brothels.
predisposed toward
And
me.
being a
You're
master of
successful.
coin and
I owe you
diplomacy
a-
for the Lannisters come across as
always
charming
wanted a ship.
and confident and helpful, a true friend to the crown on the surface.
Strange.
So it seemed. Over time the slow thinker saw later his games of exploitation and manipulation of others. To get ahead he did this with the Lannisters, the Tyrells and the Starks and the Arryns. We didn't see the past in the Game of Thrones TV adaptation of the past. In the first season of Game of Thrones we witnessed Cat say Lysa has not been back to the Eyrie since her wedding, meaning Lysa Arryn was her adulterous women likely having sex with Petyr Baelish at the same time married to Jon Arryn, and once he was too close to finding out that the children Cersei had were not his own, they employed Littlefinger to work through Lysa to take down Jon Arryn. Then Lysa was instructed to write a letter when she was okay with murdering her husband to be with Baelish. Lie and deceive when required. He did this with Tyrion Lannister's knife, and he had the nerve to show it to Bran and gift to him. Baelish also used flattery often, and he used other talents. Here are a few more to keep note of. Make sure to comment below on your thoughts. He is seen to be lacking in principles and values, can come across as aloof or hard to really get to know, cynical of goodness and morality. When he took Sansa after the murder she didn't know she was involved, incapable of causing others harm to achieve their means. Low levels of empathy. He did this when he gave Sansa to the Boltons. In my opinion and George R.R. Martin's and yours, we know this would have not happened if he hadn't married her to Ramsay. She may have been able to marry him, but of course the Starks would have found out about the rows to kill her family. In Baelish relationships he struggled. He knew he could not be a fighter, so he studied people and used secrets to leverage his position. And gold can buy just about anything, but it cannot buy you love. He did get Ned killed for good reason, because Ned was being led to his own death by Littlefinger for the marriage and life he craved to have, only if Catelyn loved him. But she never did she? After being beat publicly by a Stark he worked hard to often avoid commitment and emotional attachments, hurt from no love back from a girl he grew up with and loved. Baelish waited for decades, and then once he met, adored all his work and dedication to rise. Petyr was trustworthy, very patient due to calculating nature, rarely reveal his true intentions. The same thing is said in his advice to Sansa Stark about never let your foes understand what you want and what you're planning. Owning a brothel, and I'm sure undocumented, prone to casual sex encounters. Though he just kissed Sansa, his whole business is built upon sexual encounters, thus allowing him to profile and find out information about all his customers through his sex workers.
Money
Being at
buys
the
a
right
man
place at the
silence
right
for time.
time can be good at reading social situations and others. Always thinking
man with
about
no
the
motive
next
is a
plan
man
he
no one
has on his
suspects.
list. Baelish was seen
Always
to
keep
have
your
a lack
fools
of warmth in
confused.
social
If
interactions.
they don't know
in the end,
who
for
you
all
are
that work
or
and
what you
chaos,
want,
he was not always aware
they
of the
can't know what you plan
consequences
to do
of his
next.
clever actions.
I'd risk everything to get what I want.
And what do you want?
Everything. Know your strengths, use them wisely. One man can be worth 10,000.
I do, Lord Baelish.
Petyr.
Petyr.
My entire life. Your sister.
They'd have executed you.
The talent for violence. One evening, Gregor found his little brother playing with a toy by the fire. Gregor's toy. A wooden knight. Gregor never said a word. He just grabbed his brother by the scruff of his neck and shoved his face into the burning coals. Held him there while the boy screamed, while his face melted. There aren't very many people who know that story.
I won't tell anyone, I promise.
No, please don't. If the Hound so much as heard you mention it, I'm afraid all the knights in King's Landing would not be able to save you.